Hey Pokemon Masters, Berkey here, and if you're watching this video, it means that it happened. Sinnoh remakes were announced, and I filmed this video way too early. Seriously, as of when I'm expecting the announcement on Pokemon Day 2021, I'm filming this video a month early, so I might very well be wrong. In which case, this is not a Diamond and Pearl confirmed video, this is a, oh, what I wish they would have done if they did do Diamond and Pearl remakes. But no, we're not thinking about that. I am absolutely 100% committed to this idea. Diamond and Pearl remakes that have just been announced as
Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus.
movie magic.
Also, given that Sinnoh wasn't only confirmed, it was double confirmed, you can treat these hopes and predictions for kind of either of the games. I'd love to see these bits of lore and ideas expanded in either game. I will, of course, be covering my thoughts of both of the new games in the coming days and weeks. Let's get on with the rest of this video.
Now, I realize filming this video a month early when absolutely nothing's been announced means that the trailer of the games that I'm imagining are being announced might reveal some of the things that are on this list. That's why rather than doing a 10 predictions, I've done a 15 predictions, and hopefully you can treat some of them as safety, and I'm sure on the actual day of announcement, I might record some additional lines just to feed into this video. Look, I've been saying it for over a year. Sinnoh remakes. Diamond and Pearl remakes. Diamond and Pearl remakes. Sinnoh remakes. Diamond and Pearl remakes. Diamond and Pearl remakes. And I'm committed to the idea, so unless I've gone and totally Reggie Darked this one, here it is. My 15 hopes, predictions, things that I expect will happen in the brand new games.
Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus.
Let's do it. Okay, number one, I have been on the lookout for Looker ever since this generation began. Looker was first released and revealed in Pokemon Platinum version originally. A detective character who's chasing after Team Galactic. Looker then reappeared in the Black and White era, hunting down Team Plasma. In Pokemon Generations, he's chasing down Team Rocket. He's in the XY post-game wrapping up something to do with Team Flare. In Oras, he's washed up on a beach with very little memory of where he's been and where he's come from. In Sun and Moon and Ultra Moon, he's hunting down Ultra Beasts, and Looker is part of the International Police, an organization that stretches out across the Pokemon world, stopping evildoers. Naturally, given that he's been in every single generation and every new region since his reveal and release in Pokemon Platinum, I was kinda surprised not to see Looker in Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's genuinely kind of weird, especially given the fact that Galar is the UK, you know, and that Looker is like one of the UK's icons, David Tennant's The Doctor. I know, he's not actually inspired by The Doctor, but the similarities of a guy dressed the exact same way, traveling across all of these regions, across time and space, battling evildoers, I mean, that's so Looker. He's helping you fight aliens in Pokemon Sun and Moon, I mean, come on. But somehow Looker did not appear in Pokemon Sword and Shield. The idea is, if we're revisiting Diamond and Pearl and elements of Platinum as well, Looker will absolutely be there, hopefully to bring his story full circle. Speaking of revisiting elements of Platinum, I'm not gonna harp on about this too much, but you know, number two, a Platinum episode. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire got a Delta episode, an Emerald saga at the end of the game. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver included things to do with Suicune and Crystal. It only makes sense that if they're doing a Diamond and Pearl remake, Platinum's elements get featured in some way. I've actually done a whole video breaking down what I think a Platinum episode would be. I just wanted to treat it as a mention here because I think it's one of the most certain things. My main hope though, because this is a hopes and predictions video, is that this Platinum episode is part of the game and not some kind of paid DLC. Unless they're making it really long with a bunch of new content, I don't think they can justify having it as a DLC, given that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire had the Delta episode, you know, in the package for free. Either way, if you want to check out this video about the Platinum episode, it is linked in the top of the description. Number three, something else I've been talking about a lot on the channel recently, the return of Gigantamax Pokemon. I would imagine if they do an announcement for these games that Gigantamax Pokemon may have even been announced like with it, and that we've seen some kind of Dialga and Palkia said, though that said, number four, I do think that Dialga and Palkia will transform a little bit differently to other Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon, specifically using their orbs, the Adamant and Lustrous orbs, as items for transformation. This is the same as the red and blue orb in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, causing Groudon and Kyogre to primal revert, and also I think something will happen with Giratina, with a Greasiousorb. I think that will probably be its own thing as well. Number 5, I think the Sinnoh Underground will have something to do with Max Lair raids and Max Lair battles from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, I can imagine a future where Diamond and Pearl remakes, they scrap the Sinnoh Underground because it's all top down in Diamond and Pearl, and I don't know how they would do it in these games. And they like swap them out and exchange them just flat for copying and pasting the Max Raid Lair. Again, this is a hopes video. I hope that is not the case. My hope is that the Sinnoh Underground stays pretty much intact, with areas that you can access where the Max Raid Lair is at. Like maybe in the very center of the Sinnoh Underground, there's the entrance to the Max Raid Lair. But the Sinnoh Underground, I hope it stays intact as it was from Diamond and Pearl, because I think that as a feature, as a multiplayer feature, it's like an underground wild area. I could see them adding rage dens into it, but I want to see the secret bases come back. I want to see the interactivity with other players come back. It just, yeah. My big hope, keep the Sinnoh Underground as it was, just enhance it. And I think this is likely in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they kept secret bases, which was, a big part of Ruby and Sapphire, so I think we're probably safe. Number 6, we're now kind of getting into more risky territory, but I think the full Battle Frontier from Platinum. So Diamond and Pearl just had the Battle Tower with Volcaner, but Pokemon Platinum had Heart Gold and Soul Silver's Battle Frontier. The Heart Gold and Soul Silver Battle Frontier, by the way, was not something that Heart Gold and Soul Silver needed to do, because Pokemon Crystal, well, Gold and Silver didn't have a Battle Frontier, that's for sure, and Crystal only ever had a Battle Tower itself. But, I think the Battle Frontiers in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and even though it was just copy and pasted the same one in Platinum, I think that's a treasured feature that a lot of people love. And yeah, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, one of, if not the only, huge bit of backlash that those games got were that they completely removed the Battle Frontier. But not only that, they then had a statue saying that the Battle Tower was in progress. People are like, ooh, is it going to be DLC? Are they going to do something else? Is it going to appear in the next games? And it didn't. They may well have been planning it for a Pokemon Z that then got scrapped because Sun and Moon were coming out. I don't know, but this was a huge disappointment to the fan base, and I'm hoping that Game Freak has heard from the community, like, we want these features restored. We want the most packed game possible so that we can spend as much time as possible in the world of Pokemon. I'm hoping they've heard the feedback, and while I think we'll at least get the Battle Tower from Diamond and Pearl for sure, my true hope is that we get the entire Gen 4 Battle Frontier. Okay, number 7, going back to the idea of Dynamax Pokemon. This is kind of a small one, but Dynamax Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl remakes, I definitely see a world where, you know how you team up with random trainers in your raid battles? Yeah, I think in the Sinnoh region, we're going to be taking some of those random NPCs away and replacing them with some of the partner characters from Sinnoh. Cheryl, who you meet in Eterna Forest, Riley, who you meet on Iron Island. There's the girl with Arcanine and the girl with Kadabra, who are like very optional if you go out the way to find them. There's Buck from the post game. Heck, maybe you could throw in Looker or Barry, your rival, into this group of characters. But I fully expect that there'll be like special NPCs who will show up to join you in max raid battles. And this is because I'm pretty sure you could take on the Battle Tower with some of these characters as your ally, so I think they'll reuse the feature for Dynamax raids as well. Number 8, this is an easy one. This is a straightforward one. I think the National Dex will be complete by the end of these games. It's true, if you took the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl or Platinum Pokedex and merged it with every Pokemon we've got in Sword and Shield, there would still, I think, be Pokemon missing. But I do think, and I do wonder if there will be an update. I mean, maybe the update's announced with Pokemon Day, but you know what? That whole battle resort area at the end of the game, the point of it is that it's filled with all sorts of exotic Pokemon that you wouldn't usually find in Sinnoh. Anyway, I completely see a world where the National Dex, by the time these games are done, are all out and in the games and integrated, actually pretty much like any other normal generation of Pokemon. The only difference really just being that the Pokemon were quite late to get into the generation, whereas, in past generations, they've been ready from the get-go. I think by doing this and then also providing an update where these Pokemon become available in Sword and Shield for free, you're able to transfer them in, it's just gonna mean all that stuff about the National Dex is really almost completely and truly kind of squashed down and dealt with. Number 9, speaking of which, again, we're going on the hopeful side, but this time, and I know they didn't do do this quite with Hoenn. I want fully integrated mythical events. In the Hoenn region, in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Deoxys became available. It was kind of your thank you for buying, these remakes. And similarly, with Virtual Console Crystal, thank you for buying the game again years later. Here's Celebi, we'll give you the in-game Celebi event. With Sword and Shield, they've given us a Keldeo event, which is really, really cool in the DLC. This time round, I think all of those mythical events, and Sinnoh really was the first region with lots of mythical Pokemon. I think we're gonna see full-on mythical events. These may even be as mini DLCs. I think, and I've talked about it in my Platinum episode, Arceus, that's gonna be part of the story anyway. I think they're gonna give you Arceus with the game. But the cool events with Darkrai and Shaman, I could totally see those happening. And that would be so cool to see kind of, again, just as a reward, as like a mini DLC, or just as an event, to implement the event into these remakes. I would be stoked. There's not a huge precedent for it. It's possible that they leave them out, but it would just be so cool to see. And also Manaphy. Kind of tangentially from all of that, I want a Manaphy egg event in the game. Some kind of mini Pokemon Ranger style event that can coincide with this, just to make it a really complete package. The Manaphy egg was such a special and important part of the Pokemon event history. I just think this is really cool. So yeah, Manaphy, eggs. Okay, at this point I have completely lost count, but what I want to see next up is the whole Sinnoh region being essentially a wild area. Maybe that is too much to expect for remakes, but you know how in Freezington you've kind of got the free camera, and that Freezington is just part of the Crown Tundra. There's no loading times between them. You just move between the Crown Tundra and Freezington. I want to see kind of most of, if not all of Sinnoh like this. And if not all of Sinnoh, great portions of Sinnoh. I think the routes to the left and right of Pastoria City, as well as the Great Marsh, would all make for a fantastic interactive wild area with the town in the middle of it. Okay, I know there's some barriers between routes in the original Sinnoh games, and yeah, maybe Hearthome and Veilstone, maybe they are just regular towns. But I think for Pastoria City, the routes surrounding it, the Great Marsh, this could all work. I also really think, and I've clearly been working on these snowy terrains with the Crown Tundra, I think the whole snow route all the way up to Snow Point City would really work as a kind of free camera, wild area type thing with raid dens along the route. I think it would make these routes that are, I think, credited with being some of the slower ones because of the slowy bogged down marsh and the deep snow. I think it would take these routes and give them a new life that maybe isn't so like dreaded. It's been commonly mentioned that one of the big problems that Diamond and Pearl originally had was really the slow pace, and those routes really slow you down. So hey, if we're gonna be here, why not give us a reason to stay? Cool raid dens and a little reinvention of the area with free cameras, but ideally I'd love to see the whole game like this. Alright, number 11, back on it, let's talk about Amity Square and Poffin making. Two very classic Sinnoh features that I think will be merged in the form of this game's version of Pokemon Camp. It's possible that they'll just kind of recycle Pokemon Camp as is, but Amity Square is this area where you're supposed to kind of hang out with your Pokemon outside of their Pokeball. Obviously, I would like it if Pokemon are following you throughout the entire game. Amity Square was kind of a test of this. Just having one or two Pokemon following you before, of course, then Heart Gold and Soul Silver said, here, have everything follow you. Given that the technology is there, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't have all Sinnoh Pokemon follow you unless they're trying to be a more faithful remake. But if nowhere else, Amity Square, all Pokemon should come out of their Pokeballs, it should be a big Pokemon camp area, and rather than baking curries in the curry decks, because that's a very gala thing to do, we'll do Poffins in the Poffin decks. That one's more of a prediction than a hope, because I don't know how much I use it, but the process of making a Poffin and like spinning it on the stove is very, very similar to the curry making and the mixing in the cauldron in the pot. Number 12, Regigigas has to have something new about it, because let's face it, the way they'll do it in Snowpoint Temple now is going to be with the new Regis from the DLC. In the original Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, in Platinum you could get a level 1 Regigigas, but you had to unlock the temple via Regice, Regirock, and Registeel, which you could only have got by transferring them up from the Hoenn games. Now we're kind of in a similar situation. They're unlikely to put Regice, Regirock, and Registeel into the game directly, and we've got these two new Regis that you can only get if you've bought the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield. So to anyone who was like not swayed by Pokemon Sword and Shield's trailer, maybe they got caught up in the National Dex stuff and they just weren't really feeling the animation stuff, whatever. But they will buy the Diamond and Pearl remake because, you know, they're a nostalgia player like myself as well. They're gonna get the game, get ready to complete the Pokedex, and then go, oh, Regigigas is locked behind a sort of paywall, which is I need to buy and play Sword and Shield and its DLCs to catch Regieleki and Regidrago, or of course trade them in from a friend. That's also doable. But I do think by having Regigigas locked away behind Regieleki and Regidrago, that it will maybe incentivize some more sales of older games, so I could see them doing it. But they have to reward us with more than just Regigigas, because they gave us Regigigas in the Crown Tundra at level 100 underground in a really cool secret way. This is one of the reasons that I think Gigantamax forms are coming, because like that's, I guess, the cool way to reward us with like a Gigantamax exclusive Regigigas from Snowpoint Temple, or maybe just more lore about the Regis and why they're in Galar. Anything that has to be more than just Regigigas, and that's my hope, is that when they do this, almost inevitably, that they implement those features. Okie dokie, number 13, speaking of an expansion of lore, we need to learn more about Eternatus. In the Sinnoh mythology books, in the Canalive library, whether it's on the wall in Celestic Town or some of the elders in that town, or whether it's through the post-game and through a story to do with Arceus, we need to learn more about Eternatus. Eternatus really felt like a weird, out-of-place Pokemon in the Galar region. Zacian and Zamazenta really have nothing much to do with it other than it's a Pokemon that they fought against. There's just nothing tying them together. And it's Eternatus. Eternal. It's, time, space. It warps time and space. It just, I don't see a world where they don't expand on the lore of Eternatus, and I really hope they do. But just enough in a little breadcrumb way to kind of make it like, oh, I can make a theory video about this. Number 14, big hope, very unlikely to do it. Slahsing Ruins needs something new. Slahsing Ruins is the place in Diamond and Pearl where you can catch the Unknown, and we know through the Sinjo Ruin event from Heart Gold Soul Silver that the Unknown and Arceus are deeply tied together. I really hope if there's any location that they completely reinvent and that they build new lore and story and like a side quest into, that the Slahsing Ruins get something. Something where catching all of the Unknown will reward you with something. Perhaps in navigating it, you're going to collect a bunch of the Arceus plates, or you're going to learn something about that post-game event. I really think the Slahsing Ruins needs to have something new to it. And it wouldn't totally be weird. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they totally redid Marvel into New Marvel, and they redid the Abandoned Ship into the Sea Marvel, so I think this will happen. Of course, I do want to see that they will use the Unknown to implement, as well as they did in Diamond and Pearl, the feature of seals, and that's my number 15. And no, I don't mean seals, I mean Pokeball seals. The seals were really cool. You sent out your Pokemon, and depending on the seal on there, a different like pixel art effect would happen. Of course, now we're not in pixel art, we're in 3D, but I mean, just look at the shinies. You've got different variations, different ways that your Pokemon can sparkle. Is that not a hint? The mark charm, that means when you send your Pokemon out, there's like a little different bit of flavor text. They've clearly got their mind on this personalization of the Pokemon that you send out, and I think seals and bringing back that feature would be really cool. And there you have it. Those are either my 15 hopes, things that I predict will happen and want to happen for the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, called
Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus.
Or this is just me doing my thing, looking like an idiot, and making what will probably be the final Diamond and Pearl related video on the channel, I guess. Before eventually hanging up my hat and just completely quitting, because how could I be so wrong? It's so obvious. But I don't know, I guess I'll leave the rest of this outro to future me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you down in the comments. And with that being said, so hi Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon Master.
And a tremendous thank you to any of you who are supporting this channel financially, whether that's through merch sales or Twitch subs, watching my videos, and of course those who support me on Patreon, including the big patrons of this month, JD Gottlich and Michael Hornschurch. Thank you.